Imagine it is October 27th, 1962. Most people around the world are sleeping, unaware that they are living through the final hours of human civilization. Above the Atlantic Ocean, the United States and the Soviet Union are on the brink of a nuclear war. One wrong move, and everything, cities, families, history, will turn to ash. But 200 feet below the surface of the cold, dark ocean, three men are sitting inside a cramped, overheating Soviet submarine. They hold a key. If they turn it, a nuclear torpedo will be launched, triggering World War III. Two of them want to turn that key. They believe the war has already started, but one man stands in their way. This is the story of Vasili Arkhipov, the man who said no when the world was screaming yes. This was the Cuban Missile Crisis, the highest tension the world had ever seen. The US Navy had surrounded Cuba with a quarantine line. Any Soviet ship crossing it would be stopped. Deep underwater, the Soviet submarine B-59 was trying to reach Cuba. But there was a problem. The crew had been at sea for weeks. They were tired, hungry, and completely cut off from the world. The US Navy found them. To force the submarine to surface, the Americans began dropping signaling depth charges, underwater explosives. To the Americans, these were just loud warnings. But to the Russians, trapped in a metal tube under the sea, they sounded like the beginning of an attack. Inside B-59, the situation was a living nightmare. The air conditioning had failed. The temperature rose to over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Oxygen was running out. Men were fainting from the heat and the carbon dioxide. They couldn't hear the radio. They didn't know if Moscow was still there or if it had been destroyed. Every time a depth charge exploded nearby, the whole submarine shook violently. The captain, Valentin Savitsky, lost his patience. He was convinced that World War III had already begun. He shouted, "We are going to blast them now. We will die, but we will sink them all." He ordered the crew to arm the special weapon, a nuclear torpedo with the power of the Hiroshima bomb. To launch a nuclear weapon from a Soviet submarine, 3 senior officers had to agree. It had to be a unanimous decision. Officer number 1, Captain Savitsky, he said, "Launch." Officer number 2, the political officer, Ivan Maslenikov, he said, "Launch." All eyes turned to the third man, the second captain, Vasili Arkhipov. He was only 36 years old, but he was a veteran.
He knew that once that torpedo left the tube, there would be no turning back. It wouldn't just destroy the US ships above them. It would trigger a global nuclear exchange that would kill hundreds of millions of people. An intense argument broke out. Savitsky was screaming. The crew was panicked. The pressure was unbearable. But Arkhipov remained strangely calm. Arkhipov argued that the American explosives were warnings, not attacks. He insisted that firing a nuclear weapon without a direct order from Moscow was madness. He looked the captain in the eye and refused to